It's called personal accountability. It's not someone else's fault that you didn't do something. You know whose fault it is?
Yours.
It's your fault. Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with making a mistake, guys. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Just take ownership. Hey, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. And move on and figure out how you can be a better person. So we've all made mistakes. So, you know, I said that I finished high school. That's a great thing. I finished college. That's a great thing. I finished grad school. That's a great thing. I've come into the Army and made it a full career. That's a great thing. I've aspired to one of the higher levels within the Army. That's another great thing, right? I have a family. I have kids. They're very positive. All that stuff's great, but guess what? It really doesn't matter about all the greatness. There's been a lot of failure within all of that, and I'll be the first to tell you I've made a lot of mistakes. A lot of them. But in spite of all of those mistakes that I've made, right, I've tried to do the best I can to self-correct those things, because we all make mistakes, guys. Who in here is perfect? Who's not made one mistake? So that means everybody's made a mistake, right? Everybody's made a mistake that's sitting right here. Raise your hand. I want you to come here.
Like this, maybe.
Hold 1 second. I want you to tell everybody one mistake that you made.
Lying to people.
Say it again.
Lying to people.
So he just admitted that he was being dishonest to people, right? Does that make him a bad person? Absolutely not. That means he made a what? A poor choice. So with that, what will you do to correct that bad mistake?
Not lying to people.
Not lie to people, right? So what did he just do? He had the courage enough to stand here before all of you people. He knows none of you guys, really. Maybe a few of the younger guys, but the vast majority, he has no clue as to who you are. But he admitted whatever his mistake was, right? He's taken personal accountability for that mistake, and he's come up with a choice to be a better person. That's a prime example of how you obtain some type of success and some type of leadership with what it is you're doing. Thank you for having the courage to come up and admit that. So that's something that's very small, right? I was suspended from school multiple times for multiple bad things that you probably shouldn't do. Whether it was for alcohol, or whether it was for marijuana, or whether it was for fighting, or whether it was for something, right? Does that make me a bad person?
No.
No. So I guess, when I drove up, I guess everybody was looking out at my car, right? It was a conversation about my car for whatever reason. When you look at that car and then you look at me, right? You had no clue that I probably would have done any of those negative things, correct?
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? At the end of the day, if you take personal accountability, you take ownership for your failure, right? And you make a pledge to be better, you too can overcome those things. Guys, the criminal system is not set up for you. I don't care if you are, a white American, black American, Hispanic American. It does not matter. Once you get into that system, it's very difficult to come out. Because then they got to put you on probation. And then you'll probably make another mistake. And then you'll be back on probation or back in jail, right? That's nothing that you really want for yourself. I have been arrested and detained. You never would know that now, would you? But at the end of the day, right, most of these things happen as a minor. I was blessed to be given a second opportunity to make the most of it. So, the bottom line here is, it's not about the success in your life. It's about the negative things in your life and how you overcome them. And if you take accountability for that, that shows who you are as a person and shows who you are as a leader, right? So now, I'm going to open the floor to questions. And then if anybody has a story that they think that they want to share with the group, we'll kind of talk about whatever that story is, right? And then try to figure out how to best handle that type of situation. So the first thing I'll do is I'll let you guys ask me any question you want to ask me about, one, my life, or two, anything about the Army. I'm starting here first and then I'm coming to you. What you got, sir?
Is it scary being in the Army?
If people tell you that they're not scared, they're lying to you. At times, yes, it can, because you have the fear of the unknown, right? If, how many people woke up today thinking somebody was going to either shoot at them or try to blow you up or try to kill you? Who did that today? Absolutely nobody. Even if you're in a combat zone, you don't really think about that. You think that those things happen to other people, even though that you see other people, may be deceased or may be killed in action, right? But you don't think about that. You don't think that that's going to happen to you. But guess what? It's a very real possibility. And when that IED blew that vehicle up that I was in, right? I thought that I was dead. I mean, I had, you don't know what's going to happen to you. So unfortunately, I did not, right? Other people did. I came out with two things. I came out with a huge cut on my ankle, which, I had to have many stitches. And I came out with this huge hole in my neck. Some shrapnel going in here, right? I banged up a whole bunch of disc in there, so now I have a full plate in my neck. But at the end of the day, I have the majority of my strength. I have my life, right? And I'm thankful for that. So if anyone tells you, well, no, it's not scary. I have to jump out of planes as well. So when that door opens and that plane's moving across the drop zone, your eyes get this big, especially when it comes time for you to walk outside of that door. So yeah, it can cause a lot of anxiety. Yes, sir.
Have you ever seen A-10 Morton?
Sure. I used to be stationed at Fort Bragg, and on Fort Bragg they had this place called Pope Air Force Base. There used to be a fighter wing of A-10. So infantry guys, kind of do combat maneuvers on the ground. And so those Air Force guys that fly those A-10s come in with close air support and do a lot of preparation of the battlefield for guys to move forward. So yes, I've seen those actual aircraft.
It's in the
Any other
package that
questions?
says waivers. You
Yes,
put it in
sir.
there, and then all the blank forms are on the clipboard.
Have you seen someone get killed in the army before?
Yes, I have. There was 4 vehicles traveling down a roadway in Iraq. We were headed out to Tikrit, which is a city that was away from Baghdad. At which point, they blew up the second vehicle and the last vehicle in the convoy. Both of those vehicles rolled over. I was in the 4th vehicle. 2 people in the first vehicle received a rocket that came into that actual platform, and 2 of those people perished. Some people lost limbs, and a couple of guys, sustained some serious burns, from that. So yes, I saw all of that after reinforcement came to assist with that particular incident. So yes, I have.
Have you sniped?
Say again?
Sniped?
No, I am not a sniper.
No.
So, but I do know guys. I actually work in Special Operations Command right there on McGill Air Force Base in Tampa. I do know some guys that do that for a living and other things. And in fact, they all work in my shop in some capacity. Okay?
Have you ever killed anybody?
Probably. It wasn't from me to you, so if I'm shooting a crossover toward that thicket and we putting metal down in those bushes, I don't know what happened on the other side of those bushes, but I do know what I sent down there. How about singing? I've never built a robot, no sir. I feel like a robot. I got so much metal in my body, between my hands, between my neck, stuff in my knee, and in my shin, so I feel like RoboCop myself. Almost.